Fire away.
Well, Coach, how do you feel about going to Stanford?
You know what? I like the draw because we've played Stanford 3. We've got 3 game films on them. Pepperdine, if we do get to them, we played them 3 times this year, so we got a lot of game film on them. And while we were gone, I did happen to tape the entire Big Ten tournament, so we got Michigan State film. And that's important, so we'll be able to see their pitchers, and Rouse will be able to take a look at their hitters, and we'll have a good idea of what we're in for, and with Stanford and Pepperdine, kind of remind ourselves of what we're going to be in for. So when I say I like the draw, I don't mean that I like the teams necessarily, but I like that we have a lot of information to prepare for them.
With the young team, confidence is huge, and knowing that they've beaten this team before, how much does that help their mindset?
Oh, that's going to be real big. Especially they'll have a sellout there. I imagine they'll choose to play the night game. They have their choice, but I assume they'll choose to play the night game, and that means it'll be a sellout. But our guys have played in front of sellouts and against Stanford also.
The maturity level of this team from the past months. I mean, they've been playing playoff baseball just to get in the tournament. Your thoughts on the way they've been playing?
Yeah, the big difference the last 4 weeks has been they've learned how to make in-game adjustments. We started the season where we're going to make mistakes as a Division I team. It's not the big leagues. You're going to make mistakes. And we were pretty good at adjusting the next day in practice, which isn't good enough. And now that they've been through the wars and they've been through it enough times, they're able to make in-game adjustments and a lot of times pitch-to-pitch adjustments at the plate. And that's huge, and that's what champions do.
What did you tell your players when you guys were in the WAC tournament and you had your backs up against the wall?
Well, that's what we worked all year for, and those are the funnest games. Those elimination games are what we live for. And that doesn't mean we're going to go up and drop the first one on purpose in Stanford. Those elimination games that's when you really find out what you're made of, and we found out exactly what these kids are made of last weekend.
You have to dig deep.
You got to dig deep, and they've been digging deep for 4 weeks. I mean, we really felt like our backs were against the wall, and we were on the bubble for the last 4 weeks.
Coach, you mentioned that the in-game adjustments. I mean, anything particular with, you take 2 out of 3 against Sac State, Mexico State, or La Tech. I mean, did you see anything then that made you feel confident that you make them, rip off that many wins in the tournament?
No, really, it was a culmination of the whole season. Those early games against Pepperdine, the early games against Stanford, where we were knocking our head against the wall and not making quick enough, early enough, or the right adjustments. And just by playing time, you don't learn by sitting by the water cooler. You got to get out and play. And as these young kids have gotten out to play, we're out 4 and 5 freshmen almost every day. And so they had a lot to learn. And finally, in the last month, they're getting it. They're playing well.
Talking about the fans should be a good wave, red wave. Contingency coming on. They're going to feel a little bit more balanced. At least not too much of the road game on Colorado.
Get your tickets early. It's going to be sold out for sure. They'll pack it, and we'll have lots of people there too. Our side of the dugout, behind our dugout, has been before also.
They still have a lot to learn?
A lot, you don't ever start. As soon as you start thinking you got it figured out, that's when you get slugged right in the gut. You're always learning, every one of us.
Specifically this group, I mean, we've interviewed you for these situations many years before. Just this group specifically, they're young, but they win anyway. How much fun has this been?
It's been tremendous to be in the dugout. They've played with so much heart the last month. It's just really been fun to be part of watching a team grow and become a team. At the beginning of the year, we were a bunch of guys trying to come together, most of them just trying to get their head above water, these young kids just trying to survive today's game. And to watch them grow and break through that and now really become a team has been really special. And most of the credit's got to go to the older guys. We've got a bunch of guys now that have got 4 rings on their hand. Gene Escott's got his 5th one, for goodness sake. But to have a handful of guys with 4 rings, that's what really got us through. We hit some rough spots, especially this last weekend, and you could feel when the crap started to hit the fan, you could feel the other dugout wavering and I'm not going to say panicking, but they were doing some things awful quick over there, and there was a calm within the storm in our dugout, and that's those older guys who've been in that exact situation before where we had to win the Saturday night and then come back and win the Sunday and play 4 games in 48 hours. That's what the WAC was doing the last few years. Every weekend. So we've had guys that have been there and done that and know how to take care of their bodies and get to the next game, not use too much energy in BP and infield. And that's what I was really concerned about yesterday, is that we were going to show up all jacked up and by the 3rd inning we were going to be done. So we made a concerted effort to slow them down. We did about half of what we normally do in BP. We didn't even take infield. wanted to make sure that mentally, more than anything else, they weren't drained and were able to finish the whole weekend, and they did.
And does it help having two coaches on your staff that have won a national championship, help with Ryan and Obi to kind of help these guys along?
Yeah, there's 4. And those 2 in particular, because they did it on the field, was really special. And that calm, you know, they've been in some serious and deep messes down in Long Beach and in Arizona State and in Omaha, and they fought their way out of it. And, you know, just having that experience in the dugout is fantastic.
Coach, you talked about having patience this year at the beginning of the season. How's your patience level at this point?
It's not that much different. You know, we're still making a lot of mistakes, as Division I teams do. This, like I said, it's not the big leagues. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to go up there Friday night and we're going to make 3 or 4 mistakes on offense. We're going to make a couple mistakes on defense. But how quick do you adjust? What do you do after it? I mean, if you lead the nation in defense, if you make 1 error a game in Division I baseball, you finish the season with 56 errors. You're a phenomenal top 10 defense. We're going to make an error Friday night. It's probably going to happen. But how we adjust and can we get 4 outs in that inning before they score, that's what this group is learning to do. I mean, look what we did in that championship game going 13 innings. They had runners in scoring position almost every single inning. And a couple of them were because we made mistakes to get them there. But they've learned how to finish those innings and not dwell on that, but adjust in the right direction and still get it done.
Still 1 game at a time, though.
That.
Coach,